I always knew Barbara was a little extra, but nothing prepared me for the day she turned our sleepy cul-de-sac into her own personal episode of CSI Suburbia. I mean, picture this retired school principal, now self-declared queen of the HOA, out there every morning with a clipboard, a whistle, and those wraparound sunglasses that scream, "I see everything." Folks, I'm not exaggerating. This woman took her job like she was guarding the nuclear codes. So one Thursday morning, I install some new motion sensor lights, not because I'm trying to broadcast signals to outer space, but because the raccoons had been treating my trash like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Next thing I know, here comes Barbara marching up my driveway with the HOA handbook clutched like a judge's gavel, demanding I take them down. Swear to you, she actually quoted chapter and verse, insisting my lights were unauthorized surveillance equipment. I pointed out as politely as I could that the rules didn't mention anything about lights. Barbara just flashed that tight smile, the kind that means, "You just made my to-do list." I should have seen the storm brewing right then. And sure enough, a week later, weird things started happening. First, my mail goes missing. No biggie, could be a fluke. Next, my garbage cans are tipped over every single morning like clockwork. Then my Wi-Fi camera, yeah, the same one Barbara hates, catches this shadowy figure skulking around my backyard at 200 a.m. And here's the kicker. The guy's wearing a neon vest that says maintenance handwritten in Sharpie. You can't make this up. Now, I know Barbara's style. She's all about plausible deniability, so I play dumb. Ask her real casual if the HOA hired anyone new for maintenance. Her eye twitches and she mutters something about outsourced inspections. Lady, this isn't Amazon Prime. I decide it's time for a little neighborhood theater. That night I tweak my cameras, crank up the floodlights, and leave the garage door cracked open just enough to make it interesting. Around midnight I hear footsteps, the metallic click of a wrench, and catch a guy creeping into my garage. He's taking pictures of my toolbox, my birdhouse, like he's prepping for some sort of secret trial. The motion lights pop on. He freezes, and I step out from the shadows with my phone already recording. "Hey, buddy, you lose your way to Home Depot." He jumps about a foot in the air, sputters something about being a contractor for the HOA, and hands me a business card that literally says, "Rick Property Solutions." No number. No logo. Just Rick. I almost lost it right there. He's sweating through his vest, mumbling about Barbara hiring him to check for unapproved construction. Construction. My biggest project this year was a birdhouse. Then I noticed something shiny on his belt, a laminated HOA badge. She actually gave this guy her credentials. I nearly bit my tongue to keep from laughing. The second Rick scurried off, I called my old friend Sam, Deputy Sam, from the county sheriff's office. Now, Sam's seen some stuff, but even he was cracking up as I told him the story. "Wait," he says, "your HOA president hired a fake contractor to spy on you and gave him an ID." "Yep," I told him. "And it's all on video." Sam says, "Don't blow your cover, just keep the cameras rolling." For the next few days, I played it cool, waving to Barbara as she rolled by in her golf cart, acting like I didn't know she'd sent in the B team. But Rick kept coming back now, snapping pictures of my backyard fence while on speakerphone with Barbara. "Make sure to get the side with the plants, he's violating landscape uniformity." You'd think I was hiding plutonium behind those hydrangeas. I sent all the footage to Sam, who replied, "Mind if I handle this one personally?" Oh, I knew it was about to get good. The whole neighborhood started buzzing with rumors. Folks thought I was building a bunker. Barbara strutted around like she was launching a private investigation business. At the emergency HOA meeting the next day, Barbara stood at the front of the clubhouse projecting blurry photos of my yard, announcing, "These are the kinds of violations we cannot allow." Half the room gasped. The other half just blinked at her. "Barbara, those are just his lights." Exactly. Unauthorized lighting attracts trespassers. The irony almost killed me. She'd literally hired a trespasser to prove that I was attracting trespassers. And right then, in walks Sam, badge on his belt, voice calm. But with that, I've got the receipts. Energy. "Morning, folks. I'm looking for a Barbara Jenkins and a Rick Property Solutions. We need to discuss some criminal activity." Dead silence. Barbara's face went pale. Rick looked ready to climb out a window. "Don't move, Rick," Sam said without even glancing his way. "You're about as subtle as a raccoon in a spotlight." Rick wilted, flashlight dangling. Barbara clutched her pearls like she was about to faint. "Officer, this is a licensed contractor on official HOA business." Sam lifts an eyebrow. "Licensed funny state registry says otherwise. And you authorized him to enter private property without consent. That's trespassing, conspiracy, and about 3 more charges if I keep digging." The room was dead quiet. Then someone in the back dropped their coffee. Another whispered, "She's finally getting busted." Barbara kept trying to play the victim. He was only gathering evidence for community safety. I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing. "Community safety. Barbara, the man broke into my garage to take pictures of a birdhouse. What's next? A SWAT raid over my mailbox flag." Even Sam chuckled. "That birdhouse did look pretty dangerous. Might house a rebel blue jay." That's when Rick snapped. "She told me to do it," he yelled. "Said she'd pay me under the table." "Lady," he turned on her, "you paid me with a Starbucks gift card and a handwritten IOU." The place erupted. Board members snorted. Barbara slammed her clipboard so hard it broke in half. Sam just shook his head. "Ma'am, you'll need to come with me. Rick, you too." "Don't worry, you'll have plenty of tools where you're going." Barbara puffed up. "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president." "Yeah." Sam sighed, "and I'm the King of England. Let's go." As the deputies led them out, the room broke into applause. One neighbor shouted, "Free at last." Someone else started handing out cookies. For the first time in months, the street felt normal. But it wasn't over. 2 days later, every neighbor found a letter on their doorstep typed in all caps, like a ransom note. "I have been unjustly accused. The sheriff's office is conducting a witch hunt. Your safety is at risk. President Barbara temporarily suspended." The denial unreal. Next meeting, the new acting president, Carl, tried to keep it civil. Half the community wanted Barbara banned for life. The other half wanted to turn her house into a library just out of spite. "We're all neighbors here," Carl pleaded. "Not to her, we're not," came a voice from the back. Meanwhile, Sam called me in. "You got to see this." He showed me new footage, Barbara and Rick plotting their mission at a crowded cafe. She's whispering, "Make sure no one sees you, Rick, like she's undercover." Sam nearly fell out of his chair laughing. Trespassing, harassment, conspiracy. The sheriff's office hit them with everything short of impersonating the FBI. Rick got community service. Barbara got something worse, public humiliation. And boy, did the story spread. Someone posted it to a Facebook group called HOA Nightmares. Within hours, it was everywhere. HOA president hires unlicensed spy to bust birdhouse builder. My phone lit up. "Bro, you're famous." Barbara just got ratioed online. People started waving at my security cameras. Kids yelled, "Hi, YouTube guy." I started naming raccoons after board members. Biggest one was Barbara Jr. But Barbara still wasn't done. She showed up uninvited at the next meeting, clipboard in hand, claiming she was monitoring for corruption. Carl had to call the cops twice. My cameras became neighborhood legends. Then came the best twist. Sam calls me, barely holding it together. "Barbara's done something new. You gotta see this." Turns out she'd broken into the HOA storage shed live, streaming the whole thing on Facebook. She was whispering like a spy, waving a plastic bag of empty coffee pods and a single screw, declaring, "These are proof of unauthorized construction." She tripped over a hose, face planted in a bag of mulch, and got cuffed on camera in front of half the county. By the time I got home, local news ran with the headline, "Karen Mission Impossible Ends in Mulch Disaster." Even I couldn't script that. After that, the board had enough. They voted Barbara out permanently, passed a rule no more HOA members playing cop. Barbara moved out, still claiming she was the real victim. The folks who bought her place, brought cookies to everyone on move-in day, never saw the neighborhood so happy. Rick ended up cleaning graffiti off benches for community service. Fitting one bench had no more. Barbara painted on it. A few weeks later, Sam invited me to the sheriff's BBQ. "Your HOA," he said, "best free entertainment in the county." I just grinned. "All in a day's work, Sheriff." Couple days later, a final letter arrived from Barbara. "You may have won this round, but I will return when the HOA needs true leadership. Until then, I'll be watching." I framed it next to my birdhouse for the laughs. If she ever did come back, my cameras would be ready. Funny thing, the story got picked up by a podcast, the HOA Spy Scandal. They asked for an interview, but honestly, my prize was the peace and quiet and the sound of lawnmowers instead of lectures. Barbara's quest for control made her a legend, the kind whispered about every time someone puts up a porch light. So let me ask you folks, was justice served or did the neighborhood go too far? Ever had a run-in with a power-hungry HOA president? Drop your stories below. Don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that bell, and join me for the next wild ride, because around here, when the HOA goes rogue, we just call the sheriff, not a lawyer.